Poland, Romania, Hungary, of course. This was the heart of the George Soros network immediately post the fall of the Berlin Wall, the fall of the Iron Curtain. This is exactly where they got into. And the goal was always to swing all of those countries into this new globalist project and then eventually Russia itself.
That's exactly right. In George Soros' own words, he took the first civilian air flight to Romania after its Cold War leader was shot and killed along with his wife by firing squad. George Soros funded the very first. Yes, right. George Soros funded the very first NGO that spawned 1,000 other NGOs in the new Romania post-Cold War. The USAID, its rule of law program, effectively wrote the Romanian constitution and then wrote all the amendments in order to organize its entire judicial structure. This was done through the American Bar Association, funded by USAID, sending their delegations of lawyers to go over there to control the prosecutors, to control the judges. Virtually all of civil society, the institutions that they claim are going to be threatened by an autocratic populist leader like George Simeon. They're just Obama, John McCain, uniparty blob assets. And the problem is these folks don't want to go along with the NATO agenda there. They don't want endless war. They don't want endless migration. They don't want all of their own assets plundered by outsiders with no ability for the people themselves to enjoy the profits of the assets they sit on. And so this is what's happening in Romania. It's what's happening in Poland. And I should note, you mentioned Obama and Alex Soros and their ilk and Ann Applebaum and Rax Sikorsky and whatnot. But the fact is even Norm Eisen.
They got the whole band together.
Yes. Norm Eisen, who's, of course, the legal hatchet man behind all things lawfare, from criminal prosecutions to impeachments against Donald Trump, was the U.S. ambassador for the Obama State Department of the Czech Republic, part of that V4 axis in Europe, and remains to this day part of the Transatlantic Democracy Working Group, which is this US-EU blob monstrosity to back channel ways to manipulate domestic politics in every country in NATO. And Norm Eisen is on tape bragging about him pursuing legal action inside of Poland against the Law and Justice Party, the PIS party that has been the target of our Central Intelligence Agency, the target of our State Department, the target of our USAID.